Captain America Sam Wilson is not a hashtag meta. We learn why that is the case. Did the Android hotfix improve screen inputs for players of the community? Kabam confirmed that they changed the paradox charges in Act 7.3, and we talk about PvP Battlegrounds, which are on the way very soon. Thank God it is indeed Friday, and tell you what, this week has got me like, Kabam can make a good consistent game!
Oh, you really got those batteries in there, didn't you?
Maybe. And remember, make sure before anywhere to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all. Support the channel and all that jive. And also a massive thank you to those that support the channel as a Patreon and as a YouTube member. Thank you very much for keeping the love and support during these tough times in doing YouTubing. Thank you very much. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. We had a good time playing Call of Duty last night, and I'm back on Marvel Contest of Champions tonight. Fingers crossed that nothing happens untoward, and let's face it, after yesterday, anything can happen that can ruin my day. But before we go anywhere, I just want to give a big thank you to this video's sponsor, Manscaped.com. It's not about your groin, Deadpool, we can actually do your face now. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Let's face it, when you think of Manscaped, you think of all of this, all these amazing products, from the formulas right the way through to the trimmer. The 4.0 lawnmower, which is one fantastic body hair trimmer. But now Manscaped is going beyond the groin with the Plow 2.0 safety razor for a super close shave for your face, neck and beard. Now you might be saying to yourself, well Rich, you've got a beard, why are you talking about something like this? Well, I do have a neck as well, and that does need to be shaved down, otherwise it looks like I've got a neck beard, and no one wants a neck beard. So make it smooth with the Plow 2.0. And the Plow 2.0 is a single blade double edged safety razor that has a perfectly weighted brass handle and a zinc alloy head specifically designed for precise even strokes. And with a razor burn reducing cutting angle and rust resistant material, you can ensure you're always getting a close, clean shave. Simply let the blade glide smoothly over the curves of your face using one long stroke at a time. But a good rule of thumb to remember is less strokes means for less skin irritation, so frequent strokes are the way to go. And each single blade has two sides, so carefully flip it over to start shaving fresh with a new ultra sharp cutting edge. The Plow 2.0's single blade is designed to reduce things like ingrown hairs, reduce things like irritation from razor burn, and as well being a premium product made from gunmetal, so you get a quality product. And a quick pro tip is for everybody wanting to get the perfect shave every time, opt in to the Plow 2.0 blade replenishment plan as part of the Manscaped's peak hygiene plan. You'll save money and receive quarterly replenishments of replacement blades for your Plow 2.0 safety razor delivered straight to your door, hassle-free and cancel at any time. The Plow 2.0 means for effortless shaving. From taking it apart to reassembling it to adding more blades, it is an absolute easy breeze in order to do. You don't need to apply any extra pressure, and as well with doing those long strokes at a time on your face, it is indeed a nice glide to a smooth shave. This rust resistant safety razor is going to be ideal to take on your next trip and fits quite snugly in my shed travel bag. And speaking of the shed travel bag, this bag is a fantastic water resistant bag that is incredibly classy and as well is the great place to store all your Manscaped products. But now, good people, go forth with the information that you can get 20% off plus free shipping when you use my code RichTheMan at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with promo code RichTheMan at manscaped.com. Come here, Deadpool, let me plow you. Wait, that sounds wrong. Ah, long strokes, yeah, got it. Thanks again to manscaped.com for sponsoring this video, and I must say, after 2 days since I finished that promo on the shave underneath my chin and my neck, it did feel like it was a lot better, especially like avoiding things like ingrown hairs and as well just the movement rather than with a foil, which I do have. It just feels like I'm overly contorting my face. There's nothing quite pleasing than having a wet shave, and especially with a good razor, so go and check out manscaped.com. Okay, so we've got to talk about Marvel Contest of Champions stuff now and hashtag metal classification for Sam Wilson Captain America. Now that may be a little bit either obvious or confusing. There's a lot of stuff as to how this suit is built. I mean, there's an image somewhere, which is this one right here from the TV show, where it does hint that the suit was built in Wakanda for Sam Wilson. And also, I think that at times like this, it may be down to, like, I don't know, Marvel's... I don't know, Marvel have this kind of like input as to like where characters are, but this is a good explanation for this. This is exactly here. So Command says, hey there, just wanted to confirm that this is intentional, that this cap doesn't have the hashtag metal tag because his upgraded gear is made out of vibranium, similar to both versions of Black Panther, Killmonger and Captain America Infinity War. This is also why his new signature is called Vibranium Enhanced Exo 8 Falcon. Magneto is only able to manipulate the ferrous metals of the battle realm, which vibranium isn't. So not giving these champs the hashtag metal is how we denote that they aren't affected by his powers. So that gives you a little bit of an insight and idea if you were saying to yourself, hey, why is he not hashtag metal? Those are the reasons why it kind of falls into that type of scheme of things. Next up, Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is something that we all know is coming soon, but there should be more information on this later today, so look out for it. So this says right here that the mode is coming to the contest this spring, which is good. I think this needs to be thoroughly tested, and a long time testing it is going to be a good thing, especially because we haven't really learned anything about rewards and how this is going to be rewarded. So this is all very kind of like, it's kind of speculative, but Kabam are kind of putting the information out, so it's kind of like, well, I guess we know it's coming. But there's going to be a beta in April, which is great. It means that as players, you'll be able to get like a first-hand kind of play of it, and especially that's good because then it can air out any problems. One of the biggest things that Kabam seem to do, or sort of get wrong, actually do get wrong, is kind of thrusting stuff out there and not kind of thoroughly testing it. At least with something like this, they can have a look at what goes right, what goes wrong, and indeed identify things like, okay, well, how is this going to be fair between somebody bringing the 6-star rank 3? Is it going to be a case somebody has to bring in the same amount? Does it mean that certain players don't kind of go up against one another fairly? Is it going to be based on rank versus rank kind of placement in the leaderboard in order to get up? Are you going to be in some sort of bracket? Is it going to exactly like a system going to be exactly like Alliance Wars in that kind of bracketing based system where you face off against each other? Or can you exploit it by having one account which you operate with one phone and another account where you operate with the other phone, pair each other together, and then find that you are just inflating your main account in order to win? I don't know. Maybe that could be a thing. Maybe I've just come up with an exploit prior to release, but we'll have to see. In any case, commands say that Battlegrounds is an all new game mode where you can test your skills. Okay, pitch against other summoners head-to-head battles to prove supremacy. Each summoner will create a deck of champions from the roster, then take turns at banning champions for the use throughout this matchup. It's important to note that bans apply to both use, so choose wisely. There will be global buffs applied to all fights, and you'll need to keep an eye out for your opponent's masteries as well. That's a bit disappointing then. After the picks and bans phase, you will fight against each other's chosen champions, but that's not where the challenge ends. You and your opponent will conduct your fights at the same time and be graded on a set criteria. The winner of each round will be determined by their scores, and the first summoner to win 2 out of 3 rounds will be crowned the winner. Okay, and there's more details coming soon. As I said, they need to kind of like, nothing really there that kind of like gives me any kind of like hope or interest, but it's going to be a special week-long preview of Battlegrounds in March, so that's very exciting, and we'll have to have a look. We'll also be giving some content creators first look access to the Battlegrounds this month. Be sure to check out the videos. Yeah, I think they're dropping today. I want to say I don't have the time because I'm working on something for this other company that I work for, so I just do not have the time. I haven't spoken to Dan yet, otherwise I would have kind of said, Dan, we need to play this, and maybe we'll get some time over the weekend. I don't know. We're all very busy people with IRL stuff. Let's now talk about paradox charges. Okay, so paradox charges was something that we talked about on Wednesday. In particular, if you TLDR this, is that the previous month or the previous update prior to these changes, it was 9 paradox charges in Act 7.3. Now it's 12. This is beneficial for those that want to play that. It's not so restrictive. It doesn't feel like you're going to be punished too much. But definitely it came as a bit of a shock, and there wasn't really much to kind of like come around and kind of explain why this is going to be indeed changed. I'm not going to like toot on about the idea of compensation, because at the end of the day, This is basically down to what Kabam do, and Kabam will either give the compensation or they won't give the compensation. That's kind of the main thing with this. So if you're kind of wondering and wanting compensation, it's on the unknown. Some people have said like that's fine, I don't need it. Others are like, yeah, we need it. So put it into Kabam's hands, and that will be discussed now. There may be compensation. I wouldn't say there is or isn't, but I always say with Kabam is expect the worst and hope for the best. So that's where we are up to. And Kabam Mike said, so as already discussed here, this is an intended change, but not one that was meant to go out yet. So this was meant to be like next month or something. There was to be communication ahead of its release, but we don't intend to turn back now as already out. When we beta tested 7.4, we got a lot of feedback on paradox charges in 7.3. So we decided to go back and make a tuning update. This is usually the kind of stuff we like to cover in beta tests for the content itself, but unfortunately Act 7.3 beta did not give us much feedback at all, so the adjustment afterwards was necessary. The changes made are increased max paradox charges from 9 to 12, decreased resistance reduction from 5% to 3.5%, and the new description reads, if the attacker ever has 12 or more paradox charges at one time, all paradox charges are removed, and the attacker suffers a burst of damage equal to 200% of their modified attack. Each paradox charge on the attacker reduces their resistance by 3.5%. Now, here's the crucial thing. We had not had time to discuss if there will be any compensation or what it would look like yet, but we'll let you all know if we do decide to move ahead with something. Now, it's always very up in the air when it comes to these things. It's a bit surprising that there wasn't much feedback on Act 7.3 when it came to the beta, but the problem is, a lot of the time these betas just spring up, and a lot of the time, you know, players might not be that interested, especially if you're kind of running Act 5, Act 6 and going, well, I'm not really interested in Act 7 at the moment, or I'm not really interested in this particular content. So you don't really kind of like go and play it and road test it. It's mainly something that a lot of, I don't know, specific players that are on endgame process will kind of like end up going and doing. And maybe their impression or their experience with it is going to be different to others, which is a bit problematic. Taking ideas from one particular type of player and say, or players who are endgame, very good at the game, very skilled, or very quick at doing stuff and very quick at completing it, may give an incorrect kind of overview of the room, of the community, and then that's the problem. Then Kabam go, hang on a minute, we actually made a mistake because we listened to the wrong people here. And that's the idea of getting like, this is why it's good to get into the beta. Lots of people get into the beta from different walks of life to go, I'm not this sure on this, but I've still got to go back 100%. 7.3, which I am planning to do this month, which is great. You know, this has been fantastic. This kind of allows me to get up to 7.4 and feel that I can catch up with everybody. So this put me in a good mood. This put me in a good mood. But you know, we'll have to wait to see what Kabam do when it comes to compensation. In any case, let's move on to the next story, shall we? And yes, our next story indeed, and our final story is all about the parry dex input issues experienced now on Android devices. Now, do remember, this is an input game, a game that relies on feel, according to Kabam. Yes, that's right, this is a touch-based game that you develop. It's always good to make it a consistent game as much as possible. In any case, Kabam say that this against this player here said, oh, you know, the hotfix just came out a few minutes ago, and I don't see you've updated. Kabam Mike knows what you're doing. He knows what you did last summer, and he thinks what you did was filthy. But look, on all seriousness, right, it's annoying. It's an annoying situation to ever be in. It's great that Kabam were able to turn around a hotfix as quickly as they have. I've seen incredibly mixed responses to performance, and that can come from a whole host of devices when it comes to interaction. And that's just the thing, like going to the parry input section right here, and if you go to say the last page, which was as of yesterday, Galaxy Series 9, I think M has that phone actually, still having issues, but M auto fights everything because, you know, she doesn't want to involve herself with the stress of this game half the time. It seems to have fixed the issue, so on the S20 FE, seems to be resolved on the Oppo, that's good. Haven't read the whole thread, but my champs are throwing heavy attacks when I try and do certain ones on the OnePlus, and that's just the thing, man. The frame side of things, I don't know if there's any kind of like improvement there, because people are talking about how it's running on that, because they've had different experiences on their Android devices. Yeah, I mean, it's just a situation, isn't it? I just don't think that we're ever going to get consistency here. I mean, someone here, Samsung Galaxy S9. Well, that seems to crop up multiple times then, Galaxy S9. So it's not been good for everybody. There's definitely been a case that this hasn't been a great improvement. But as Kabam did actually say with this, he said they can't guarantee that it's going to fix everyone's problems. I really hope when the new game engine comes in, or this kind of like input system that comes in the next couple months, it really does save the day with this. You know, playing on iPad is very different to playing on iPhone, and I can't play on my iPhone because it's like a piddly ass screen, and I literally just seen this. It's like, oh, those people look down there really small and microscopic, just like the inside of a cataract. Yeah, it's just kind of like that. It's like multiple Simpsons reference and other shit and stuff. But yeah, problems with that hasn't been totally fixed. Very inconsistent in kind of delivery. Anyway, thoughts on this in the comment section. Are you still kind of feeling that you're getting problems? Is this not kind of like great? And yeah, let's hope that next week is a better week for the game. In any case, that has been the show for today. So I'm going to be doing the next video today. It's going to be something along the lines of the MCN store, and trying to figure out best places and ways in order to get like the solo event done, and also kind of best buys. I'm just figuring out whether or not that's 2 videos or 1 video. But yeah, check out that content, which will be dropped later on today. And thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you very soon. Oh, and check out the link, manscaped.com, code RichTheMan. Bye!